What's good, Raider Nation? Welcome to another edition of the Just Win Baby podcast brought to you by the Silver and Black Lounge, the Natural Born Raider podcast, and the Loaded Box Entertainment. Tonight, we got a loaded show because the Raiders just got their toughest test of training camp against the Houston Texans. And Raider Nation, we learned a lot. Fernando Mendoza finally got extended work with the first team offense against Houston's starting defense. It wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. The Texans brought the heat. Both Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza were under pressure. Both quarterbacks threw pick sixes, and Houston's defensive front made life uncomfortable for the Raiders' offensive line. But there were positives. Brock Bowers looked like the best offensive player on the field. Mike Washington Jr. continues to make noise. Max Crosby was doing Max Crosby things. Quay Walker got an interception. And Fernando Mendoza is still getting legitimate reps with the ones against the defense. Like Houston tells us that the Raiders are serious about accelerating his development. But we've also got some concerns. The run defense got tested again. The offensive line struggled against Houston's pass rush. Jackson Powers Johnson, he's not going to play on Thursday, which means Caleb Rogers is about to have a huge opportunity at right guard. That cornerback 2 battle is still wide open. Darian Porter, Zeke Massis, Jermod McCoy, DeCam Richardson, all still fighting for a spot. So tonight we're asking big questions. Did Houston expose the Raiders, or did the Raiders get exactly the kind of reality check they needed before the regular season happened? And of course, tomorrow night we finally get Raiders versus Texans in preseason game number 2. Who needs to show out? Who's fighting for a roster spot? And which young Raider could take a major step forward when winning the job? We're breaking all of it down tonight. But before we get started, shout out to our sponsor, MMOexp. If you need Madden 27 coins or any in-game currency, hit the MMOexp referral link in the description and use promo code TheLounge for 8% off. Using the link helps support the Silver and Black Lounge and keeps the show growing. Now, Raider Nation, hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and share the stream out to get active in the chat. Tell me right now, what concerns you the most about that joint practice with the Houston Texans, the offensive line or the run defense? Are you guys ready to see Fernando Mendoza with another extended look tomorrow night? Grab your drink, get comfortable. Let's talk Raiders football. This is the Silver and Black Lounge. This is the Just Win Baby podcast. One nation, one family, one lounge. Let's get it. For the cheapest and safest Madden 27 coins and coins across all video games, check out MMOexp.com. Use code TheLounge for 8% off. Thank you, MMOexp, for sponsoring today's stream.
They didn't have to say much. This is the Raiders. This is one of the most historic franchises in the NFL with a great history that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of furthering that history. When you say commitment to excellence, okay, and you look at the walls around here, and you look at the players on this wall, and there's a history. There's a history of Hall of Fame players here. There's a history of Super Bowls, and that's.
And with all this situation and all this shit I went through, the biggest thing that I took from it is I don't give a what everybody has to say. Truly, I really don't give a.
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast.
We do believe that this is a game psychologically of intimidation and of fear. I don't mean cowardly fear, but fear.
But the Chargers and all those teams. To be honest, I don't like any of them. I hate all teams.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
But the Chargers.
What I call the vertical game. We were going to stretch the field vertically. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We didn't want to move the chains. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play, the quick strike. It's number one to say you want to do that. It's number two to say that you have the players to do it, but it's number three to do it. Hard. Try not to make mistakes, but don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win will endure forever. You will not get.
Yo, what is going on, Raider Nation? What is going on, YouTube? You guys are tuned in, man, to the Nation with Attitude, man. The Silver and Black Lounge, Natural Born Raider podcast, the Loaded Box ENT, man. I'm Raider Ben. Below me, man, are my co-hosts, Nutty Raider Nate and Dyrti Raider. What's going on, fellas?
What's good with you? How's
What's
everybody?
happening?
50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allow us to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, more than we can verbally express.
For sure, man. So shout out to all of you guys, man, regardless of what stream, what channel you guys are watching this on, man. Make sure you guys just take 2 seconds, man. Hit that like button, double tap that screen one time. It helps the channels grow more than you guys know. If you guys are catching this post stream, man, let us know in the chat where you guys are watching the stream from. We love to react to your guys' comments post stream, and hit that hype button, man. That hype feature really helps all these channels grow. So anyways, man, shout out to everybody who coming by the chat. You know, we start this joint off, and we'll give a shout out to you guys, man. I'm off that Voodoo Ranger, them IPAs. Get me a little buzz on, man. Rob Black and Grayed Out was in here, dumbass. He was in here last night. Shout out to Black and Grayed Out. Bruce Willis in here, man. Shout out to Bruce Willis. Raider Pete, my man's nice to see you, Raider Pete. We got John Leon in here, my dude. Always a pleasure. Jerry Fuentes, what's going on, guys? Raider Knight, always a pleasure to see you guys chilling with us tonight, man. Raider football tomorrow, super excited for it, bro. I know you guys are all excited for it too, man. If you guys are excited for Raider football, man, you know, double tap that screen, hit that like button. Shout out to my brother Afa Kasi, man, tapped in from all the way across in Australia, man, on the other side of the globe, bro. So shout out to my brother Afa Kasi. We got Bubba in the chat, says the run defense concerns me. Yeah, man, we definitely gonna be talking a little bit about the run game and shit like that. Lucky said, can I add him on what? Anyways, man, let's go on. Let's go ahead and start this shit off right off the rip. We're gonna get into some notes, some news and some notes. Jackson Powers Johnson is out. Jackson Powers Johnson's not gonna play. I think he got rolled up on a red zone drill a couple days ago. Was seen in street clothes against the Texans. Nutty Raider Nate.
Why? Yeah, it's tough. We missed his presence out there. It sounds like too in those practices. We needed somebody with a little more oomph in their oomph. But it is what it is. This is what when we drafted him, bro. It was a question mark why he even fell, but they kept his injury history pretty hidden, and it's unfortunate because he could have been a Hall of Famer. We're also not using him correctly. I feel like, in my opinion, I feel like we definitely. This is one of those situations where we got the player and we try to make him into something he wasn't. And overall, hopefully he can bounce back. Hopefully it's nothing too serious too, because it sounded like Kubiak was considering playing him on Thursday, but for whatever reason, they're going to play it safe, and I'm okay with that. Let's have him available for week 1, because I know a lot of people like Rodgers and he's stepping up, or they say he's stepping up. I don't really see it. He's serviceable. He's a good filling guy, but I don't think he has he doesn't bring the same tenacity JPJ does if he's available. So, but yeah, it's unfortunate. I thought he was a Hall of Famer, but I was wrong. I kid.
It's tough, especially for JPJ, third round, or he's in year 3, second round pick. They're not going to get that 5th-year option. So this is a big year for JPJ. And like you said, man, hopefully he gets back on the field. Shout out to MK. JPJ, Dyrti. Thoughts, questions, concerns?
Concerns? Not concerned. I'd be concerned if it was anything out of the normal. But this seems to be every year at some point in time. The kid is he's injured, and it's crazy because I was listening to Lincoln Kennedy and Q, this morning, and it made a lot of sense. And it was crazy that when you have when you have someone like a Lincoln Kennedy saying kids can't stay healthy, and it's like I almost don't even have a spot for him on his team. You know what I mean? It's like it's next man up. Um, Caleb
Hold up with your
Rogers,
line.
from all accounts, everybody is saying that Caleb Rogers is, coming up. So, I said it last night, like, I was really hard on uh Caleb Rogers, and one of the reasons why was because of the coaching staff that we had last year, right? So I felt like, if the kid has some better coaching, maybe you can get a better result out of him, and you're starting to see it. So if he's coming up and he's actually pushing JPJ for the starting job, the last thing JPJ needed was to get injured. So, I mean, that automatically, pushes you right back down to second string, maybe third string, depending on how your injury is, you know what I mean, and when your timetable for coming back is. So now Caleb Rogers has to step up into the first string offense and play on that line. Whoever was behind him has to step up to the second string line. Whoever was behind him has to play the third string while you sit on the sideline and try to get healthy. So JPJ is kind of like a touchy subject. I get what you are saying, Nate, when you say like we're not using him right, but the unfortunate problem about that is that even if we were using him right, that doesn't prevent the injuries from happening. So
he gets injured less when he plays center. I'll just say that.
Hey, look, a lot of people get
because he's a little bit less aggressive, I would think.
I don't know. I don't know, because center is a pretty.
It's a fact. I'm not.
I hear you. I'm just saying it's a pretty aggressive position too. So like, yeah, he was successful at center. You know what I mean? But we now talking about a whole completely different style of offense. And
what up, Jeff?
I don't know. All I'm saying is with the injuries, that the way that they're piling up, I can't even say that if we had him at center, he wouldn't get hurt.
What up, Alfredo?
Like that's just one of the cards that you're dealt.
No, yeah,
it's not guaranteed. Like he could have got rolled up on at center. You know what I mean? This is not something he went out and purposely did. This was an accident in practice. Somebody rolled up on him, right? Who's to say it wouldn't have happened to him at center? Putting somebody at the left guard position that can't really block too well, and he's on at center, and then the guy gets rolled up on like right there. So like it's really like a toss in the air as to when it comes to the position that he's lined up at. If he would have got hurt, the problem is he keeps getting hurt. No matter what it is, it's becoming an issue. So hopefully this is something light. You know what I mean? He can take it easy for about a week or so and then get back out there on the field, and hopefully maybe week 1, he's fully ready to go and he has a full week of practice, and he shows great momentum towards being 100% healthy. And hey, we can revisit the conversation about him. But as it stands for now, I mean, kid has to get relegated all the way back down the roster. So you got to work your way back up from there. I mean, it's not a far climb, but still, this plays well for Caleb Rogers, and it really does hurt JPJ.
Yeah, I mean, when you're losing reps in practice, and Caleb Rogers is going to start getting all those first team reps, I think we can all agree on it. You feel me? Like camaraderie and offensive line is like a lot like a brotherhood, right? So these guys get really familiar with one another, and JPJ is just kind of pushing his way out with the injuries. And like I said, it's not his fault. Jackson Powers Johnson, I think we'll all agree that when he's healthy, he's one of the better guards in the league. Definitely a fan favorite player. His family went out to, I think, that Bakersfield event a couple years ago. But at the end of the day, if you're injured, and you're not on the field, you're right. You can't really do nothing for the team. Like I said, it's unfortunate. Hopefully we'll get JPJ back out on the field soon. Like I said, they haven't specified exactly what the injury is. So like Nutty Raider Nate said, hopefully it's just something minor, and it's a precautionary thing. I think keeping him out of a game though makes a little bit more than a precautionary thing, but who knows? But the injury bug has riddled its way around the NFL. If you guys aren't aware, Tyler Biadasz, who I believe was brought in to play the center for the Chargers, one of the better offensive linemen in the NFL, interior offensive lineman, got rolled up on. He's done for the season. So, I hate seeing anybody get injured, but, that's in our division. So, it's going to help us a little bit. And then, unfortunately, for the Texans, I believe the wide receiver's name is Jaden Higgins. He also got rolled up on and blew his ACL out in that joint practice against the Raiders. And he'll also be done for the year. So, the injury bug is slowly starting to show its face around the National Football League. I think Mike Evans got banged up again. Like I said, like Nate said, hopefully it's nothing serious and we'll be all right. At least we got out of them joint practices with really no significant injuries. I remember we used to play the Rams a few years ago, dude, and it seems like every time we had played the Rams in joint practice, somebody was coming out that bitch missing a couple weeks, bro. So
yeah.
I'll say I'm not a big fan of the joint practices for that reason.
No?
You know what I mean? I'm really not a fan of the. I mean, it's okay, but I'm not a fan of it, and I'm glad they only do one a season.
Shout out to Mike.
I like it. It to me, it's team bonding, and it's
I get
you
that.
Don't want fights, but you want the intensity, and you want to see your brothers out there.
I don't want the injuries.
Fight for you.
You know what I mean? I just don't want the injuries. But no, I 100% hear what you're saying, right? I hear you. I'm always on.
Hear ye.
You know what I mean? I'm always on the fence. So it's like, bro, in one hand, yes, it's team bonding, you know what I mean? Team building. On the other hand, I don't know. This is one of the reasons why they was trying to eliminate preseason, though. You know what I mean? Why they wanted to just do mini camps and then get straight into the season. You know what I mean? But, you got to have a warm-up game.
What up, Willie Wayne? All right, so I got some notes. Shout out to Sam Ward. He posted some notes out of cap, pretty much made into a graphic. So bring the graphic up. Fernando Mendoza got an extended run with the ones. You guys can see it right here. Kirk Cousins went first, but for some of the team periods, the Raiders kept parts of the first team offense on the field with Mendoza. The first time it's been seen so far in camp. So we've seen the Raiders in this joint practice go out there and give Fernando Mendoza exclusive amount of reps, which was good to see. I did post a short on it, so we're going to bring this short up. When Fernando Mendoza was asked about getting first team reps, how he felt about it.
Which is fantastic, and it's a top defense every single day, and then now be able to go against the Texans defense, which is also a top defense in the league, go against them, be able to get some reps with the ones against the superstars on their defense, and then obviously their twos are fantastic as well. We got so much work, whether it was move the ball, first down, third down, red zone, 2 minute. There's so many situations.
Hey, shout out to
my overall is a positive day. There were plays that I loved and plays that I wish I had back. But in reality, that's a lie. I wish I didn't have them back because it's a growing experience and it's practice. And this is what I love. And it's just a beautiful day to play football here. And I'm so happy if so many things to learn from today.
Fernando.
So there it is. There's Fernando Mendoza's response to getting first team reps. Overall, what was your thoughts? What's your guys' thoughts on Mendoza getting first team reps? Is it, maybe the Raiders see a little bit more out of Fernando, so they want to maybe push him a little bit more? Or what are you guys thinking?
No, I think it's all part of the process. It's another progression in the direction we want to see him go, including them. So it's all in due time. You like to see it. Better late than never. Yeah, I'm good.
What's your thoughts, Dyrti?
Okay, so for me, what this tells me, and the way that I'm looking at it, I'm thinking that the Raiders coaching staff are very happy with where Kirk Cousins in the offense is. Not extremely happy, but just happy. They're okay with it, right? They know it's gonna gel, it's gonna catch hold. What the Mendoza first team reps is telling me is, and this is by far one of the greatest things that you could do for a rookie quarterback. And Clint Kubiak, knowing this and being the offensive guru that he is, he put him out there to see where he is technically at against a really good defensive team that can't hit him, right? They can get in his way, they can tap him or whatever, but they can't actually punish him. So this gives you the ability to, even though it's live football and everything is like 85%, you know what I mean? Everything is 100% until it comes to the quarterback, you know what I mean? Just don't hit the quarterback, right? So it's the perfect test to find out just exactly where he is in his progressions. How much further along does he truly need to develop? How many more weeks do we feel like it's going to take for him to get there? But for as it stands, Kirk Cousins is the guy. You know, Kirk Cousins took first team snaps too, but they really want to see where Mendoza was. And it didn't hurt him and it didn't help him, right? I won't say it didn't help him, but it definitely didn't hurt him. Kirk Cousins threw an interception. Mendoza threw an interception, right? Both in the red zone, both for pick six, right? So when you look at it like that, he's close, and they just got a better view of what it is they truly needed to see out of him. He's still got to come along a little bit more. I think he's overhyped, so he's got to really figure out a way to settle himself down. But Kirk Cousins is the starting quarterback until he's not.
Yo, what up, Ishada?
To lose. So I like Mendoza. I just feel like if I get a more calmer, more settled down Mendoza, I think that's the kid that'll be ready to go out there and be the starting quarterback. Because he's just way too animated in his interviews for me, bro. Like that's not starting quarterback behavior. It's just too animated for me.
I mean, it's a measuring stick. That's what I said coming into the joint practice the entire time. It's a measuring stick. It's not exactly that. It's not really going to determine where we're at as a team and as a whole. But it is a nice measuring stick, especially when you're talking about a Houston Texans defense that has had the same, coaches, players, so on and so forth. The same scheme has been there and has been implemented for many years. And there's some consistency there. And it's been one of the best defenses and was the best defense last year. To go out there and see, where our offense was in year one under Clint Kubiak, I think is I wouldn't want anybody else in practice, bro, in a joint practice, than probably the Houston Texans if you want to give yourself a nice little measuring stick in terms of where you were going to be in the season. I mean, like I said, it wasn't pretty, but like I said, there's a lot of things that are going well with the Texans and have for a while. And the Raiders was just trying to get there. You feel me? So, all right. So let's see what else we have here. So Texans pressure on the quarterbacks. These are all joint practice notes. Houston's defense generated heavy pressure. Both Kirk Cousins and Fernando Mendoza were uncomfortable in the pocket all day. Sacks came from both sides of the Raiders' offensive line. How concerned are we about this offensive line, guys? Nutty Raider Nate. After just hearing out of these reports is what I should say. Let me put some context on it.
I've seen them playing last week gave me some hope, but I know our weak spots, and I know like I'm sticking with my. I don't think we have the horses. We got the coaching, it feels like, but I'll start with the big dog, Colton Miller. I
take it easy, Willis.
I'm seeing him getting thrown around this year a little bit too much for my liking. I'm maybe he's rusty. Maybe it's the age catching up finally. I don't like it. I don't like what I'm seeing from Colton Miller right now. I'm seeing him getting rocked back with one arms and fucking he's on rollerblades going the other way and on getting pretty much stood up with one hand. He's got to get stronger. He's more. I don't know what's going on with him, but he's doesn't look the same. And then of course you got JPJ. He who knows what's going to happen with him. But he wasn't at the game, so all right at practice. But so that means it was Caleb Rogers in there, so he was probably struggling. And that was actually JPJ's stronger suit. I guess they were saying that's what separated him and Rogers. He was better in the pass than Rogers was. So, and I could see that too in the games. Rogers kind of looks lost in pass protection. And then Linderbaum, I'm disappointed with Linderbaum, to be honest right now. Cousins got into it again with Will Anderson at the end of the game or at the end of the practice. And Kirk Cousins had to go stand up for himself again, and I didn't see any linemen, or I didn't hear any linemen in there to back him up. But I would have liked to hear that Linderbaum was standing up for his quarterback, or one of these offensive linemen were sticking up for Kirk Cousins. But that's just me, I guess. And then the right side, I don't know what's going on with the right side. It's Glaze and
Caleb Rogers.
Oh, that's Caleb Rogers. That's right. So I missed Burford, but Burford actually some of the clips I've seen and some of the stuff I've been watching, he's solid. He's as far as pass protection goes, he looks pretty solid. So
yeah, same. I've been seeing a lot of good things and reading a lot of good things about Burford too.
Yeah. So I can't. I don't got here. And then Trey Zunes is a wild card. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know.
Dyrti, questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on the offensive line getting, hypothetically their shit pushing?
So I wouldn't go as far as that statement. It's what people have been running with, because it was like a big headline title that kind of was just, but like I said, I was listening to Link, and he said, man, it wasn't as bad as the headline was making it out.
Severe, great show earlier, dude.
You know what I mean? What it do, Severe? It wasn't as bad as people were making it out to be. You got to remember something. It's Houston Texans. They got a hell of a defense front, bro. They got a hell of a defensive front, right? No team is really gonna be able to handle kind of what they're gonna be throwing at people this year. We didn't win, but we didn't get our ass beat either. In the passing game is where we lacked, and they kind of really got at us in the passing game. But our running game, they kind of had to take a step back a little bit. That was one thing we were able to do, was run the ball on it. The passing game, it is what it is. The pass blocking is not perfect. Now, I warned y'all about Colton Miller. I warned you about Colton Miller last year. I told you if I started seeing old man veterans start to sit in, bro, I'm gonna require something else. And unfortunately, there is nothing else you can go and get right now. You know what I mean? Like, there's no left tackles that are in free agency like there were when we were in need of actually bringing somebody in to push Colton Miller for his job. So that's just the bed that we made, and we're gonna have to lie in it now. You know what I mean? Because we could have got a left tackle. We could have got a younger, more healthier left tackle, and we didn't. So I'm not gonna listen to the whining and crying about him this year. Not gonna happen. Burford is doing his thing. I felt like this was a good addition when we got him. A lot of people had a lot of bad things to say about him because he came from Frisco.
What up,
You know,
Frank?
because they were listening to Frisco fans. Oh, he's terrible. He's okay, cool, great, wonderful. He was terrible for you. Doesn't mean he's going to be terrible for me. You know, it's an upgrade to any and everything that I had at that position last year. So I'm very happy with the way he's been out there handling his own, doing what he's supposed to in the run and the pass blocking game. Linderbaum, I'm not too hype about. But I'm not downing him either. We all know the success of his blocking comes from the run game as well. One of the reasons why they went and got him. We all know that he needed some work in the passing game. We knew that. We knew he would be better than any of the past centers we had previous. So, Caleb Rogers coming along. We'll see this week when he gets to run with the ones to see, how he really is shaping up out there. As far as that right tackle, I think it's DJ Glaze and Zoom. DJ Glaze is definitely ahead of Zoom, but Zoom's not too far behind him. And that's the other reasons why I'm not too whatever with Colton Miller, because Zoom can play left tackle as well, and he is slotted in that position too as a backup. So if it's not working out with Colton Miller and, God forbid there's a reason why he can't play and Trey Zoom steps in and he actually does well, then kudos. If he doesn't, then we fully understand. It's going to be real tough out there. So, but we'll see.
Charles Grant, don't sleep on. I've been hard on Charles Grant as well, just because he's from a smaller school and we've been kind of babying him. But he did his thing last week, so he might be capable to take over for left tackle. We'll see.
Okay.
But yeah.
All right, guys. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Appreciate you guys for sliding through. As always, man, double tap the screen, hit the like button, subscribe to all 3 channels. Whether you're watching on the Natural Born Raiders podcast, you're over there loaded in with the box and the loaded box with Nutty Raider Nader. You're over here lounging in the silver and black lounge at Raider Ben. Regardless of what channel you're on, we appreciate every single one of your guys' time here on this Wednesday night as we get ready for Raiders football tomorrow night against Houston. So we got in the chat. So Severe said some. Severe said Q and Vinny said it was a C grade, and that was with them being as generous as possible. So it was more like a D grade, talking about our offensive line. So, I mean, at the end of the day, bro, like I said, I don't want to beat up the offensive line and judge them too much when they went up against the Houston Texans defensive front, which is one of the best fronts in the National Football League, if not the best front. But
no doubt, but we gave him hell last year, if I remember correctly, or at least in the first half. When we played him last year, right?
No, we did for sure.
We didn't lay down. So
I was watching Severe and Chris and them earlier, and they were saying how that I think Severe says he felt like it was we caught them off guard type game, which I could probably see that. You know what I'm saying? They probably slept on us. They probably overlooked us.
Definitely their trap game.
Nonetheless, we still played how we played. So I get it. All right. So we got one of our positive notes here, Brock Bowers, which I feel like if anybody was probably going to stand out, it was probably going to be Brock Bowers, offensive highlight player of the day. Caught a big post route from Fernando Mendoza earlier in the practice, and then later holding a touchdown from Cousins in the red zone, which was the only passing touchdown of the day. Obviously was kind of figured it'd probably be Brock that caught that. But if I'm not mistaken, I think he caught that on Derek Stingley or whatever. He's an all-pro corner for the fucking Texans. I'm sure you guys know Stingley. They blind him up on the outside, man-to-man, and Brock Bowers just out-leveraged him and beat him to the inside and caught a touchdown. So you guys have any thoughts on, Brock Bowers just continuing to be Brock Bowers? Dirty?
Man, Brock Bowers. Brock Bowers is Brock Bowers, man. Like I said, if you got him 100% healthy and you got Michael Mayers that's 100% healthy and Michael Mayers' game is stepped up, you got two of the best, you know what I mean, in the NFL working. I mean, it's going to get easier for Brock Bowers if Michael Mayers stays healthy and he continues to perform like he did in the preseason game against Arizona. So, like, it's just going to get easier for Brock, and that's just going to get harder for the NFL to, you know what I mean, really get a hold of and defend. So, like, that's one of the bright spots in our offense, you know what I mean, alongside Ashton Genty. And, you know, right now, seemingly Kirk Cousins, who is the starting quarterback, like those are the three bright spots. So, you know, there might be more, but they have to fully develop right now. They're just kind of dimmed lights, but, you know, they could always, you know, turn it up and end up being shining lights. So I really do love our tight end room. When it comes to when it comes to the three top, you know, in Brock Bowers, Michael Mayers, and Ian Thomas. The other ones, they still got to show me something, but, you know, with just those three right there, like, I really see a issue with defenses having to guard some of our plays when schemed properly.
Yeah. And shout out to Severe, bro. It's a great comment. It's a great point. Brock Bowers got all the attention due to him being our only real weapon in the passing game, and the dude still stood out. True baller. Yeah, facts, bro. That's why, like, you feel me, when what was it, like maybe after about 7 games or 8 games, people were asking, well, when teams start to figure out that Brock Bowers is our best player and they start bracketing him and doubling them, what are they going to do on offense, dude? Brock Bowers is so good. He's going to win a lot of those matchups, even bracketed and in double coverage. But like we said the other day, bro, like, we can't rely on him to have to do that play in and play out on a consistent basis and expect us to have, you know, a good season. So, but no doubt, Severe, you feel me? They knew, the entire fucking Houston Texans fan base knew, that stupid fucking bull that was trying to troll the Raider players. He was coming in with the fake handshakes. He even knew Brock Bowers was going to fry, and he still fried. So, but yeah, shout out to Severe, man. Appreciate you for coming through the stream. If you guys ain't following Severe, man, make sure you guys follow Severe, man. He does a great job over there with Chris and 805 and with Farrell, man. Shout out to Elijah Wildhorse. Moses said, will Kirk be better than Geno? He better be better than Geno, bro. That's all I can say. Elijah said, make Brock your wide receiver 1 and make Michael Mayer your tight end 1, bro. We've been saying that over here on the podcast, bro, for a couple of months, dog. And when I was saying the Raiders should run a 12 personnel, but a shotgun 12 personnel with Michael Mayer as your traditional inline tight end with Brock Bowers playing the slot, people didn't like that. You feel me? The majority of the chat was like, nah, bro, that ain't it. You feel me? We want Brock Bowers to play tight end. But not knowing or not really understanding that Brock Bowers plays and has played the majority of his reps, college and in the NFL, as a slot wide receiver. So I agree. I think the best option, and let me ask you guys, I mean, who would you guys rather have as on the field as a pure pass catcher, right? Would you rather have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer, or Brock Bowers, Jalen Naylor, Brock Bowers, Trey Tucker, Brock Bowers, Jack Besh? I'm sure everybody's going to say I'd rather have Brock Bowers and Michael Mayer over all those other guys I just mentioned. So, you know, I think the best opportunity for the Raiders to win, at least on the offensive side of the ball, is to get both of our tight ends utilized. So, Nutty Raider Nate, your thoughts on Brock Bowers?
I have a saying. It goes run the rock, pass the Brock. So yeah, I'm all about it. Brock Bowers is a baller for sure. I did he hyperextend his knee or something? So I saw something. He had like wrap some.
Nah, it wasn't. He just had a wrap on his knee. He didn't hurt himself. They were just fucking, people were just making up rumors. Yeah, he was at Houston Texans practice with no wrap.
I saw Cousins throw him a hospital ball, and he went up there, and it didn't look like he landed too nicely.
He's not injured, bro. I'm sure they'd have said so.
Okay. All right.
Hey man, quit throwing
Don't get mad at me, man.
I'm about to say, God damn it, don't start that shit. God damn it, you son of a bitch. I ain't nobody saying that shit but you, so shut the fuck up. I ain't trying to hear none of that shit. He said, yeah, he got thrown to the hospital.
We start.
Yeah, God damn it, you son of a bitch.
Oh, but yeah, I love.
You will not put that on me, Ricky Bobby. You will not put that on me.
I'm about to go get some fucking holy water here in a second, dude. You keep saying this wild ass shit. Hey, shout out to Bruce Willis, man. Been on the Al Davis Club for 8 months. He said, I just want to say thanks to my lady for giving me an allowance. Without her, none of this would be possible, mate. Shout out to Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, I believe, is going to make that LA trip, guys. So we about to be linking up with Bruce Willis. Hey, Bruce Willis, bro. I'm trying to get you into the LA group chat, bro, on Instagram, gang. You got to hit me back. You guys have any final thoughts on the whole Brock Bowers before we move on to the next subject? Next topic, next note.
Nah, I'm good.
We good? All right, cool. Turnovers against Houston. Mendoza originally was nearly picked off by Kamari Lassiter in the red zone, and then 2 plays later, he threw a pick 6 to Jalen Petrie. Kirk Cousins also threw a pick 6 to Kamari Lassiter in the final team period. Dyrti, you go ahead and start us off with this one. Turnovers, bro. Pick 6s. I think it was something we've kind of been hearing about far too much for my liking.
Well, if we keep in count and we keep in record, Mendoza has thrown more picks than Kirk Cousins in the preseason. But again, it's the Houston Texans, man. Right? Like, their defensive front is nice, but it's just as nice as their defensive front is. Their defensive back are nice too, bro. Like, Stingley is no joke. You know what I mean?
Petrie.
Yeah, Petrie is no joke. Like, bro, they do have some defensive backs. They got some safeties. They got
Raider race.
You know what I mean? They are a complete defense, bro. You know what I mean? They are a 100% fully complete defense. You know, they don't really have any gaps. That's one of the reasons why they were so successful last year was their defense. Their defense kept them in games. Their defense took them to the playoffs. Because we all know C.J. Stroud did not have the best of years last year. The offense was hurt. It was plagued with some injuries. Wide receivers would get healthy, and then the next wide receiver would drop, and then another wide receiver would get healthy, and bro, they would be having 3 wide receivers on the roster and 4 on the damn IR. And every time one come off the IR, another one goes back on it. So, like, you just got to put that into perspective. Like, we're not where we need to be. You know what I mean? And this kind of really puts like things in a much more clearer perspective as to what to expect from this team. But hey, you know, at least it was only 2 picks. It wasn't 12. You know what I mean? It was 1 from each quarterback throughout a whole joint practice. So, in all honesty, it's really not a lot to worry about. Because, again, like I said, you're talking about a stellar defense in Houston, but you only throw 2 picks on the day. Or maybe 3. But, you know, still. That's it.
So Elijah Wildhorse wants some context on the interceptions. I haven't heard anything in terms of context on the Kirk Cousins interception. I know from what I've heard about the Fernando Mendoza interception is he was looking to throw the ball to Ashton Jeanty, and he didn't see the defender standing right there, and Ashton Jeanty didn't see him neither, and dude jumped the route and took it to the crib. So it was like a choice route, some kind of option route for Jeanty. Jeanty nor Fernando Mendoza read the coverage right, and the defender Jalen Petrie stepped in front of Ashton Jeanty and took it to the crib. So, and yes, it's joint practice.
So from my understanding, because I got context for both interceptions. So Kirk Cousins' interception was a jumped route. Like, it was just basically he threw a pass and the DB came down and just kind of stepped in front of it, right? Like it was the perfect pass. It was the perfect window. It was just timed really well by the DB. With Fernando didn't read the coverage properly. He thought the safety was a little bit deeper than he actually was. So when he threw the pass, he threw it to a certain spot and he threw it high. He didn't really throw it low to where Ashton Genty could get it, and it kind of sailed over Genty and into the arms of the safety, and that was his interception, pick six in the red zone. So there is a vast difference in the way that the ball was picked off. One was just a great play by the defense. The other one was just a bad read.
So Purple said, what are you gonna say, Nate?
It looked to me like Mendoza was gonna throw that ball regardless, and he was told to throw that ball, or one of the two.
Nah, he anticipated it, bro. It's probably an anticipation throw. He's gonna throw that shit no matter what.
Yeah, but Genty also
that's some anticipation.
If you watch Genty come across the screen, he's like jogging. He's like going half speed the whole time. Even after the interceptions throw, he kind of like just jogs and runs up, and like it's like the same speed, damn near. So I don't know what's going on with that. That's a little concerning.
So shout out to James Purple. He said it's practice. That's what it's for, to take chances so you know better during a game. I don't see nothing wrong with Mendoza throwing a few picks. Yeah, I'm with you. And that's exactly what Fernando Mendoza pretty much said after the game, is that, this is what practice is for. Yeah. You feel me? We're out there, we're trying things. And if we're gonna turn over the ball, we want to turn the ball over in the red zone. So I mean, not in the red zone, but in practice. If we're gonna turn the ball over in the red zone, we'd rather do that shit in practice than in the game. Shout out to Frank C in the Jet.
I'm definitely overreacting too. So don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for surely. Raider Ray said the Raiders didn't stretch with music. I don't know if that was like a typical Texans thing, that they don't practice or stretch with music, but yeah, it was weird, or if they were doing that shit as like a mind game type shit they were trying to play. I don't know what it was, but Max even said mic'd up. He's like, "Hey, bro, we're out here stretching. There ain't no fucking music playing. All grit type shit." I don't really know verbatim, but he said something like that. Bruce Willis said last preseason game and first game in the first drive is where we will see if we're going to be an okay team or a really bad team. I don't know if it's going to be that last preseason game, because really nobody's going to play in that last preseason game except for guys that are probably not going to be playing in the NFL, that are probably going to be looking for a new career option the day after. But yeah, I don't like Dyrti said, he usually gives it like 6 games. I don't think you really truly know what you have as a team until about like week 7, week 8, somewhere around the midpoint of the year is where I think you start to really understand who you are as a team. So it's going to take a while, bro, for sure. Anthony Provincio said interceptions in practice is not a big deal. They're trying shit. No, exactly, bro. Exactly. That's why I don't think anybody's really overreacting about it, except Nutty Raider Nate. I've overreacted a little bit too myself, though. So shout out to Nutty Raider Nate, my guy. Elijah said rookie mistakes he'll learn with time. Bad wide receiver route running for Kurt. Yeah, bro. It's just, we know, bro, these wide receivers are not very good. That's why the secondary, we have to take, the secondary balling out with a grain of salt, right? Because we know our wide receivers aren't very good.
Literally staring him down, staring right where he was going to throw the ball, staring at the defender. Oh, bro.
All right, guys. So here we go. We're moving on to the next note that we got out of scrimmage. And that's Mike Washington Jr. continues to flash. He ran some with the 2s today, looked good with the 2s, had a touchdown run in the red zone. He did run the ball a little bit with the 1s. There's not a note here that's not here, but he also had the longest run of the day. Mike Washington had a 31-yard run, which was the biggest play of the day for the Raiders. Nutty Raider Nate, thoughts on Mike Washington? Chat, you guys can chime in too. What's your guys' thoughts on Mike Washington as well? I'm going to take a piss. Go ahead, Nate.
He baller. I think it was with the second team, but either way, I think he's a baller. We're gonna have a good 1-2 punch if we get our offensive line gelling healthy. He opens up our offense for sure. Buys Genty some time. Yeah, I'm not against it.
Well, for me, this leads back to what I was saying about that offensive line. They're built for the run game.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? That's why when people say, "Oh, the passing," I'm not too concerned about that. Reason being, we don't even have a number one. We don't even have a true number one wide receiver.
Run the rock.
You know what I mean? We're going to be running the ball. I'm so adamant about this statement, bro. Like, running the ball will free up the pass game, and we are going to run this rock. We have two excellent running backs, you know what I mean, in our stable. We have two excellent running backs in our stable of the backfield. So that's why I say, like, this offensive line, they're going to definitely open holes. They're definitely going to create lanes. I honestly believe our offensive identity is going to be running the ball. I can already see we're going to be a running team. You know what I mean? With some dinks and some dunks here and there, you know what I mean, to move the chains a little bit more. You put the ball in, like, Brock Bowers' hands, you put the ball in Mayer's hands through the air, and they create, right? But the issue we were really having was, like, the running game. So with a running back like Mike Washington, you go out there, you pound with him, you break defenses down with him, and then you insert a Ashton Genty, or vice versa. You run them down with Ashton Genty, and then you put a Mike, Washington in there, and then he goes out there and he just dominates because the defense is tired, right? Like, this is a good problem to have. There's nothing wrong with having, this problem. This is a great problem to have. I'm glad to hear that he went out there against an excellent defense and put up the type numbers that he did. So,
no, I'm not, and I'm not gonna overreact or nothing. At least try my best not to. But Ashton Genty didn't have a good game. Didn't have a good day at practice, bro. From what I heard, Ashton Genty was getting boxed up all day. He had a couple little flashes here and there, but it wasn't nothing like, oh shit, this is the guy the Raiders drafted 6th overall. And like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and jump to conclusions yet. But I even made some crazy ass take last week that, could Mike Washington really come in this bitch and start taking it over? Like I said, I like Ashton, bro. I like Ashton a lot. When we drafted him, I was definitely one of the guys that wanted to draft him. But I didn't know 1 year later we were going to draft arguably the second best running back in the entire draft. You know what I'm saying? Like, and gave Ashton Genty true competition, bro. Ashton Genty's going to have to run the ball like he's never ran the ball in his life, because I'm sure a lot of you guys will agree with me, dude. This guy is not just settling for being a backup running back. He don't want to be a backup running back, bro. If you guys heard the way he's talked, if you guys watched his YouTube channel, listened to his press conferences, his post draft, this dude wants to be a Hall of Fame running back. And a Hall of Fame running back isn't. No, I hear you. You feel me? And a Hall of Fame running back isn't gonna want to sit behind another running back. You feel me? So, but like Dyrti Raider said, bro, it's a great conversation to have, bro. Because just like the quarterbacks, we got a very talented running back room, bro, with two guys that are true ballers. You feel me? And I think, who was it? Were you the one that said the Raiders could have 2 1,000-yard running backs? Dyrti? Yep. That's a true sentiment, bro. Like, these dudes are going to be battling back and forth to try to be that number one back and stay that number one horse.
But you also got to remember this. You got to keep this in context. Mike Washington was running with 2s. Ashton Genty was running with 1s. You got to keep that in the context too. You know what I mean? So,
yeah. So it's hard to tell. Right?
Had you said he did that running with 1s, okay, cool. But he ran with 2s. He did that against the number 2 defense, not the number 1 defense, while Ashton Genty was getting all his against the number 1 defense, which again is a stellar stellar defensive front. He got his runs off, but yeah, Mike Washington is going to have a little bit more success out the day running with twos and not ones.
And Anthony Provincia, I know you ain't talking about running backs, dog. You said we could replace Josh Jacobs with fucking Zamir White and Sincere McCormick. So anyway, Nutty Rare Nate, what were you gonna say about that?
Do you guys think that him having to share the backfield, share his carries, split his carries, do you think that's kind of fucking with him? I swear to God, you watched that interception today, and then the effort he put into that play and totality, it was some horseshit effort, in my opinion.
Bro, he's getting pushed by a real running back, Nate. You feel me? What was the? And I'm not saying he's not a real running back. I'm gonna get out. Let me get where I'm getting at, bro. The biggest knock from Ashton Jeanty, bro, is that he had played in a weak ass conference where he was establishing, his physicality and his running style over guys that probably weren't even going to play in the NFL, right? In his conference. You compare that to Mike Washington, who went to the SEC, and was literally doing this shit against guys that were going to play in the NFL on Sundays. So, at the end of the day, Jeanty may be feeling a little bit of that pressure, and that's good, bro, because that kind of pressure is going to bring the best out of him. You feel me? And regardless, bro, it's good competition to have. I'm just going to say that.
But if the result is him moping around on a route and causing an interception for a pick six on a play in a real game,
we know that's not going to be allowed, though, Nate. They're going to clean that up. The coach going to clean that up.
I think it really had more to do with it. It had more to do with he wasn't going to jump for the ball, bro. It went over his head.
It was a medicine ball. Yeah.
It was a hospital ball, bro. It was a hospital ball, and he wasn't going for the hospital ball, bro.
There you go.
I like medicine ball. That's a good one too.
The medicine ball, hospital ball.
I like that one.
Death ball.
I don't think I've ever heard medicine ball.
He wasn't trying to do
coffin
nothing.
ball, coffin. I used to call them coffin passes.
Yeah. I meant to say hospital ball. I got it wrong.
That was a good one though. They jumped shit up on the fly, Rose Fire.
And look, again, you can say whatever you want. You're still trying to measure a fresh new team like the Raiders, who have a new coaching staff, new offense, new defense, new coordinators, new everything, right? Versus an established playoff team.
All right. No,
and if you get any success, it's a great day.
I feel you. All right. So we got our next note to come out of scrimmage. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. You guys make sure you guys double tap that screen, hit that like button, subscribe, regardless. If you're over there on the Natural Born Raider podcast, you're loaded in the box with Nutty Raider Nader. You over here in the lounge, Silver and Black Lounge at Raider Ben, man. Pull up a chair and smash that like button in the lounge. All right, guys.
On Spotify.
Oh yeah, shout out to all the Spotify listeners too, bro. The homie Dyrti Raider Nate got us. The homie Dyrti Raider got us set up on Spotify too, man. So shout out to all you guys, man. Appreciate y'all. You guys go on that goddamn Spotify and leave that shit a 5-star review. Good damn it. Yeah, I done posted the link like 4 times. Yeah, y'all go drop us a 5-star joint. Shout out to Josh. Shout out to Severe. Severe said that was a lazy route by Jeanty. It may be that he didn't think he was getting the throw, but still the route was lazy. I didn't see it. I haven't seen it. If anybody's got the clip, show me, bro.
Bullets are flying.
You guys definitely post it, bro. Yeah, Nutty Raider Nate rebranded with us, bro. We all pretty much rebranded, bro. So Nutty Raider Nate is in his channel's the Loaded Box ENT. So shout out to Nutty Raider Nate. So
what
let's
up,
see
Josh?
what else we got here. Severe said the run game was shut down today. The only highlight was a 30-yard run by Mike Washington Jr. against the Twos. Yeah. Tough day for Shirley for the run game. For the offense really as a whole, bro. Like we couldn't really do shit in the pass game neither outside of Brock. Josh said, Benther, hate to say this, we had no pressure against the Texans O-line. Max had pressure. Imagine trade went through. We're going to through it like we did 2018, only 12 sacks. Well, I definitely heard the Raiders had definitely got some pressures in the passing game. It's just our run defense was terrible. Run defense is what's terrible, bro. Shout out to the Rebel Raider. He said, just hold tight, people. It's going to be a long, hard season. I agree, bro. That's why I had us between 3 and 5 wins. Shout out to father and son football, bro. Shout out to you, man. Shout out to the chat, bro. Appreciate y'all. Let's get into the next note. Run defense concern. Texans had success run the ball against the Raiders defense. And Woody Marks, which I believe is like their third string running back, bro, found the end zone twice on the ground, bro. So the run defense, a little bit of a concern. Again, the Raiders did have, somewhat of a decent run defense last year, but it looks like the Texans, who are, at least based off last year, a subpar running team. Dyrti, thoughts, questions, concerns, run defense?
Yeah, I got concerns about the run D. Who doesn't? You know what I mean? Like it looked bad on last Thursday night. It looked bad against Houston, and it's probably gonna look bad again tomorrow night. You're forcing Raider Nation to keep bringing up this Vita Vea trade, bro.
Vita Vea just re-signed today. Vita Vea re-signed today. It's over.
See, so there you go. Now that's gone, right? So what are you gonna do? Because
use the Raiders as leverage, just like Ndamukong Suh did.
We don't see to get any production. You let Adams go to another team. You know what I mean? You let good quality backups go other places. You know what I mean? Like, dude, what is this defense? What is this defense going to be? Like, are we just going to go out there and just be out there on the field, or are y'all going to are they going to step up and actually do something? Like, why? I'm so sick of paying people to come here and fucking shit the bed, bro. I am sick of it. If you're going to come here, do something. If you ain't going to do nothing, don't come here, bro. This ain't the place to come and get a check and sit on your ass.
It is.
It is, though. That's the thing. It is, though. I mean, we're trying to get away from that, Dyrti.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
yeah, exactly. We get where you're coming from. I'm picking up what you're putting down, but historically, over the last 15, 20 years, this has been the place where you come up and kick your feet up and just get paid. I mean, we don't want it to be that, for surely, but
we're gonna keep getting robbed if we don't defend ourselves.
I mean, let's just be real though, bro. We ain't got no. This is what happens. We ain't got no pure interior, like true defensive tackles. And this is no shade towards Adam Butler, bro, but he's more of a trying to get after the quarterback than a run stopper, bro. You feel me? Taka Hemingway is kind of more the same way. He's more of a pass rusher, bro. We got no true, real run stopping defensive tackles. Zero. So teams are gonna run the fucking ball right at that, dog. We got a NASCAR package. No matter what defensive line group we put out there, dude, a whole bunch of pass rushers, not too many guys that can draw doubles besides Max Crosby, and he's only drawing a double because he's fast and athletic, and he's like Gumby, like some people will say. But this is what happens, bro, when you build your team with pass rushers at almost every single defensive line position, and you have no real true run stoppers. I mean, Max Crosby's our own real true run stopper, bro, but he's the only real true anything we got on defense. He's our only true pass rusher. He's our only true fucking run stopper. You know what I'm saying? But like, yeah, dog, I mean, I'm not super surprised. Like I said, I've been saying for, the last few weeks at least, I don't think our defense is going to be very good. And I think I said this a couple days ago, and I think I'm going to stand on this. I think we have a chance to probably see a historically bad defense in terms of Raiders defense. I think we're going to be really bad this year, bro. I don't think we're going to be able to stop the pass. I think Eric Stokes is probably going to be just like last year. He's going to be our one standout player. I think teams are going to run the fucking ball all over us, dude. And then what sucks about all this is, dude, Max Crosby's probably going to want to be traded by the trade deadline. So tough. It's going to be a tough season, at least in my opinion, for the defense as a whole.
Why are we always the team every year trading away a star in the middle of the year, bro?
Because we suck and good players want to go win.
Do something good, man. Motherfuckers go.
Well, because they want to go win. can you blame him? I'm not blaming Max Crosby for wanting to go win. It sucks, but it's the reality of the situation. When you got great players that want to win games, especially great players like Max Crosby that stuck for your team for 9 years, and you haven't given him shit, I mean, I wouldn't expect.
I was
But,
excited for Quay
8 or
Walker
9
and
years.
Kobe Dean and all these signings,
What up,
bro.
Cornhusker?
Right now, it just feels like we just paid for damaged goods, bro, because ain't nobody really standing out. Ain't nobody performing.
Well, Quay Walker has. Quay Walker looked good today. Quay Walker had an interception today. So if there's one bright spot,
unfortunately, on defense, it ain't the same as offense. One bright spot on the defense ain't enough. That one person can't stop 11 people from doing their damn job. So, on offense, one person can cause mass confusion as Brock Bowers does. You know what I mean? But on defense, not the same. It just ain't the same. So I'm good. You know what I mean? I'm really getting really upset about this defense because I'm a defensive guy, bro. I like offense.
I feel you.
I love defense. That was a great Super Bowl for me. A lot of people didn't like it because it was a defensive Super Bowl. I loved it. But now we in regular season, and I'm not going to get a chance to fall in love with my defense because they look like trash.
I feel you, dog. Nutty Rare Nate, did you give your thoughts on that last topic before we move on?
Oh, we're talking about the defense?
Yeah. The run defense.
Oh, nah. It got Benito Jones cut. I didn't really mention that. I had a lot of hope for Benito Jones.
Me too. I didn't. I thought Benito Jones would have been solid.
But let me say this, but I don't think we were using him correctly either because he is a true nose, in my opinion. Again, but
for sure he is.
Rob Leonard, fucking obviously, he's got other plans for this defense. I'm not quite sure I see the vision, but the way it's going, the pattern I'm seeing is I don't think it's possible we can run a 3-4. So I think that's all bullshit.
Yeah, the game's on ESPN tomorrow, right?
I think Rob Leonard's learning on the fly right now.
I'll be live for the game too.
He's going to learn that NFL means not for long, at least as a defensive coordinator.
Type shit. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe. All right, guys. Next note: pass rush was the one bright spot. Raiders defense up front, pass rush in terms of getting after the quarterback did show up a little bit today. And Max Crosby recorded a couple of sacks. Dyrti, you can start us with this one.
Yay, Max Crosby got some sacks. 2. Wow, wonderful, fabulous. That's it, man. I don't really have a lot to say about this defense, bro. They're underwhelming, bro. They're truly underwhelming. All right. This is not conducive to going out and spending the bulk of your free agency money on your defense for them to be bad, just as bad, if not worse than they were last year. Why go spend all that money if you are not going to get better production than what you got last year? So I'm not sold. I'm not happy. You know what I mean? I'm hoping our offense is a 30 to 30, you know what I mean, a 28 to 35 point per game offense, bro. That's all I can hope for. I can hope we can go out there and put up.
That was 35.
Yeah. If they can go up and put up 35 points a game, man, that might be the only thing that gives us like any kind of hope, bro. I mean, it's a far-fetched thing to ask for. I'm just saying that's the only thing that's gonna make me feel like we got any real type of chances if this is a 35 point a game.
Shootouts.
I'm gonna just say this, bro. Speaking of 35, Max Crosby at 35 million a year better be getting a goddamn couple sacks in practice. Goddamn it, you son of a bitch. You know what I'm saying? But no, I'm with you, Dyrti. I'm with you, bro. Like in my opinion, this is a whole this is all just coming down to Rob Leonard, bro. Rob Leonard's just not ready, gang. He's not ready. His coverage, I think, is really what's gonna hurt him the most, on top of the fact that we ain't got no true inside dudes. But I don't know, bro. I don't like Rob Leonard, gang. I'm just gonna keep it real, gang. I don't like Rob Leonard. Y'all knew, a lot of y'all knew, bro, going to this bitch, I didn't want Rob Leonard. I'd have probably took anybody over fucking Rob Leonard. I ain't gonna lie. Originally, because I thought we was only bringing back Rob Leonard to make Max Crosby happy, but then we got rid of Max Crosby. So I don't know if it's because they wanted to make Raider fans happy or Mark Davis happy, or why we kept Rob Leonard. But nah, bro, that was terrible. Or maybe the Raiders just want a scapegoat. So this season, you feel me? When it all goes bad, Kubiak could be like, well, yeah, look how bad our defense was. Because I said this before, bro. There's always a scapegoat, goddammit.
Yep. And
This
get Jim Schwartz on the phone immediately.
Yep, type shit. They gonna use him as a scapegoat, right? And then we gonna be, if we ask, right? Say we ask, right? They gonna be like, yeah, well, Rob Leonard defense shit. And we gonna get a top pick. We gonna get Jeremiah Smith, and they about to be on the phone with Jim Schwartz, like, hey, gang, you feel me? You ready? You ready? Like, I know y'all wanted to sit out last year, you feel me? But no, I like that Jim Schwartz take, bro. I like that Jim Schwartz take. That's gonna be crazy if that happens.
The Browns did them dirty, and they pretty much
they Calvin Johnson them, bro. Yeah. They Barry Sanders him. They wouldn't let him leave.
Go ahead and retire, homie.
Yeah, right. He's like, all right, bro. I could honestly see some shit like that happen. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. Like that ass. And at this point, they gonna trade Max. Say if it goes bad, right, and Max gets traded, bro, they gonna have at least a second round pick or hopefully a first round pick that Jim Schwartz will be able to work with. You feel me? Like, so I don't know. We're just talking hypotheticals here, guys. All right. Let's move on. I think I only got a couple more, and then we'll talk about the game coming up. Yeah, so we got the defensive notes. Some bright spots on the defense outside the pass rush. Yeah, no doubt. Quay Walker with the interception on the running back wheel. And then also spiked the ball and started talking shit to the running back after he spiked the ball. Then Jamad McCoy was getting some run with the ones and didn't look terrible. Overall, the pass defense didn't look terrible. It was the run defense that looked fucking terrible, dude. So, you know, it's still exciting to see Quay Walker, because Quay Walker, you know, he was flashing in that game against the Cardinals when our starters were out there. I kept seeing Quay Walker make plays, and he's still continuing to make plays. Went out there against the ones with the Texans in the scrimmage and got an interception. So, you know, I think he's in for a big season, bro. Quay Walker's in for a big season. Like I said, overall, you know, if our pass rush can just get some pressure, bro, and the defense can hold up in the back end somewhat, bro, I think we're going to be good. It's just the run defense, bro. But we know, dog, like I said earlier, our team, in my opinion, our defense is built around getting after the quarterback and trying to stop the pass. Like we have like no want to in the run game, bro. From what I've heard, every single time and what I see in the preseason game is every run rep, it's like we don't want no part of that, dog. Teams are just out muscling us and out physicaling us, out physicaling. I don't know how to say out physicaling. I don't know how to fucking say that. At the fucking defensive line, you son of a bitch. Fuck you. Stop laughing at me, you dimmy, you fucking piece of shit. I ain't the smartest motherfucker in the room, even though sometimes I try to claim to be. Go ahead. What's your thoughts?
I gotta hold on.
You got smoke some ready?
The bird going by.
I got to get up there, bro. Nate over here talking too much shit. Boy, got the feds on him.
I don't like the Quay Walker thing with the taunting at the end, because there's a Raider, bro.
And he was flipping off fans, big time shit.
You're definitely gonna get the flag, and that just negates any positive play you just made. So I don't like that shit. I mean, it's some Raider shit, right? It's the Raider way. It's the Raider way.
The last time, you know what happened last time motherfuckers was flipping motherfuckers off? It was Geno Smith flipping off our fans. You feel me?
Yeah. Well, and it happened it happened another time, I think. And somebody really got fined for it. There was like a real penalty. I forget.
Remember that time Marcus Peters damn near trying to walk up in the crowd on old buddy that was talking that shit?
Oh yeah, with the Rams.
Yeah, bro. He almost walked up in the crowd and shit.
Yeah.
He's about to go get that boy to business.
Like say that shit now. Yeah.
Type shit. So while we wait for Dyrti to come back, I'm just gonna throw around the rest of the notes that I had here. What mattered the most? We got some what mattered the most. Mendoza's roles obviously growing in the offense. Houston exposed our offensive line. The run defense is a true concern. Brock Bowers and Mike Washington were the standouts really of today, and then Max Crosby and Quay Walker on defense. So that's really the gist of it. It's the graphic. Yeah, man, we pretty much covered everything. What's your guys' thoughts on going to the game tomorrow, Nate? What are you looking forward to seeing tomorrow, chat? You guys, let me know in the chat as well. What are you guys looking forward to seeing tomorrow against the Texans? I will be live. Make sure you guys come by. I will be doing play-by-play Raiders versus Texans tomorrow night, man. So if you guys aren't already checking out my play-by-plays, man, come by the play-by-play tomorrow. Severe said he sent me the play on Instagram. Okay, say less, Severe. I'm gonna go check it out. Nutty, Rare, Nate. Looking forward tomorrow. Things you're looking forward to seeing tomorrow.
Just everybody staying healthy. If we win, that's cool. Cool beans, but
yeah, at the end of the day, it ain't really about that shit.
Nah, we got our work in. Just try to stay healthy. One thing I'd like to see is it Jacob Clark, the fourth-string quarterback?
Yeah.
Yeah, get him some play. Let him go out there and throw the ball around. I saw him. I saw him in an interview with Busting with the Boys. All four quarterbacks actually. They're all sitting next to each other, and he's noticeably the biggest one. I'm interested to see let's see what he's got. Throw him in the fourth quarter. So. No, but other than that, I'm not really. I just hope everybody stays healthy.
So Zavir sent me the clip of the pick. Okay, cool. So let's go ahead and run the clip. Shared the screen. Which one is it? Right here. See if I can big screen this shit. I ain't got no play because I ain't got no Twitch.
Fix the penalties for sure. Yep, clean that shit up. At least
it
half.
Let me play because I ain't got no Twitter. That's
cut
tough.
That shit in half for sure. And then next week, no penalties. But yeah,
I don't got Twitter, bro. It won't let me play that shit. Severe. Like I try to click on it, it's like nope. That's tough. They used to let you watch videos, bro, without having to fucking have a Twitter. I got off Twitter, bro. That shit's a fucking cesspool of fucking bullshit for me, dude. I can't do Twitter. But yeah, I can't watch it. So maybe if anybody else has the clip, I appreciate you for sending it to me, Severe. I don't know why all of a sudden you have to have Twitter accounts to watch videos that are sent to you. That's crazy. Let's see. Tomorrow, bro, I just want to see the continued development of Fernando Mendoza. I think Fernando Mendoza is going to continue to get, a lot of reps. I'm going to be interested to see if they're going to give him some reps with the ones. I think maybe the reason why he got reps with the ones in the scrimmage is maybe because they're not going to play Kirk Cousins at all in this game. And maybe they're like, okay, let's get Fernando Mendoza ready to play with the starting offensive line and the starting wide receivers in this preseason game. So that's one thing you guys should probably keep your eye out on. You feel me? I honestly think Fernando Mendoza could probably get some runs with the ones in this game right here. Like, because he got some practice against this defense already again with the ones. We all know Kirk Cousins is probably going to be the starter. Kirk Cousins probably ain't going to play no more preseason, bro. He's probably done. We've probably seen all of Kirk Cousins in that last game. So I think they're probably going to roll Fernando. Yeah, bro. I mean, in my opinion, I think we've seen all we need to see out of Kirk Cousins.
No.
Well, this is my opinion. This is my opinion, bro. But I don't think we need to be wasting any more reps on Kirk Cousins, bro. We need to get Fernando Mendoza these reps. So I think Fernando Mendoza needs to be out there tomorrow with the ones. That's the biggest thing I'm looking forward to, and the continued development of Mike Washington. And hopefully we get a bounce back from these corners, as obviously the quarterback started the game like 14 for 14. You know, I need to see something. I need to see an interception. I have to see an interception tomorrow. There's got to be some kind of takeaway. If I don't see a takeaway tomorrow, I'm going to be upset. I'm just going to be honest with you. I might crash out because all this shit we've been hearing, bro. And if we don't have an interception, if we go through 2 preseason games and we have no turnovers, I'm going to be a little bit of upset. So Fernando Mendoza getting some rep with the ones. If it happens, I'm looking forward to that. Mike Washington, and then the secondary. Go ahead, Dyrti, because I know you stepped away for a minute, bro.
No, I was just going to say, I don't mind Kubiak playing Kirk Cousins, you know, a series like he did against the Cardinals. I have no issue with that. But because one of the things, you know, Houston already said that they're not playing their ones at all on defense. Like, it's the second string, third string that's going to be playing tomorrow for Houston. You know, their starting defense is not going to play. So even when you put Mendoza out there with the ones, he's still going up against 2s and 3s, right? So he should have a better time. You know, should show a lot more. Should get a little bit more comfortable. But I wouldn't be opposed to seeing Kirk Cousins take the first series like I did against the Cardinals. But yeah, good shit. I mean, good shit. That's all I can. Put him out there. Let's see what the youngster got. I mean, if Kirk Cousins doesn't play, you know who's starting the season, right? And you can just stop having the conversation of if Fernando going to start over Kirk Cousins come week 1. If Kirk Cousins doesn't see the field anymore this preseason, you know that's because he's the starting quarterback. So
yeah, shout out to Severe, bro, because he just sent us this that clip of Fernando Mendoza's pick 6 on the Ashton Genty route, and he slowed it down a little bit because I decided on Twitter. I don't got Twitter. I don't fuck with Twitter. Shouts, it's the space, bro. Nice to see you, gang. All right, so let's go ahead and get this clip up right here. So this is the interception that Fernando threw in practice, the pick 6, and it slowed down to half speed. If you guys are wondering why it's going slow.
Replay it.
Replaying it.
Looked like the whole team was going half speed.
So Ashton Genty, you know, yeah, exactly. That's what they were saying. Is it looked like there was like no effort. You know,
by anybody.
Like there was no effort.
It wasn't just Ashton Genty.
Yeah, it looked like they were kind of treating that like practice.
Yeah, it was a bad pass. It's a pick 6 because nobody chased him. Play stops right there. Nobody gonna chase him down the field.
Watch Colton Miller on this play too, though.
Good beat.
Gets pushed into Fernando.
Will Anderson has him on one leg and his other leg up in the air like he's taking a piss on a fire hydrant or something.
He's taking a piss on a fire hydrant or something.
Look at his leg.
Yeah.
Bro, he one-armed Colton Miller. See, Colton Miller's getting one-armed right now, bro.
It was a little bit of both. It was a bad pass and it was a bad route.
I almost think Fernando Mendoza probably couldn't even see over Colt Miller because Colt Miller was getting pushed into his fucking face. That's what it looks like to me. Because, bro, if you look closely, bro, he's getting one arm. Will Anderson's left arming him right into the face of Fernando. He tries to win him to the outside. Don't work. He one arms him with his left hand.
The DB
keeps the outside leverage with his. No, for sure. No, for sure. He's sitting on it.
Mendoza's.
But you make it easier. Yeah, you make it easier when your quarterback's getting his vision obscured by his tackle getting pushed right into his fucking face. But no, that he definitely telegraphed that. No, if you look at Fernando, he was telegraphing that shit. That's where he was going with the ball, no matter what.
Yeah, he set on that. You know what I mean? I don't know what you want Ashton Genty to do. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you want Ashton Genty to do on that play. I can't put the blame on him for that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, the coach told Mendoza that was a throw. That
Shout out to Severe, man. Appreciate
his only
you,
option.
Thanks for sending the screenshot.
Anthony, the crazy thing about it was that was the last play of practice. There wasn't any plays after that. That was the last play of practice.
Raider Ray said that defense ain't playing their elite enough for show. That's what Dyrti was saying earlier. He's been saying the entire show. Like, you have to keep in mind, this is the Texans we're playing. We're not playing, you feel me, the Cleveland Browns, but the Browns even have a good defense. We'll probably not no more without Myles Garrett, but we're not playing those subpar defenses. The point I'm trying to make, bro. We're playing the fucking Texans, who just came off the #1 ranked defense last year. I think as a team, they had almost 50 sacks combined. They had like 30 between their two defensive ends combined had 30 sacks.
I mean, you're talking about a defense that's almost considered to be on the level of the Baltimore Ravens with Ray Lewis. I mean, you're talking about a defense that carried its
Shout out to, we got 30 likes, man. Appreciate you.
You know what I mean? Like, you're not talking about no slouch of a defense. You're talking about a full-on D'Amico Ryans fucking defense, bro. How you think he even got that job? Because of the defense he built in Frisco. So, and
a defense that he built trying to scheme against Kyle Shanahan too, Dyrti. Like that. He was scheming against Kyle Shanahan, the Shanahan tree. You feel me? The modern West Coast offense that runs today's NFL. He's been scheming against that since his days at Frisco.
Yeah, that's another thing. The offense that we ran, he knows it.
Yep, type shit. For sure.
He's a top 3 defensive coordinator, and right now he's a top 10 head coach because they are been in the playoffs ever since he arrived.
So Severe says still a bad decision by Mendoza, though. He felt the pressure and looked for a check down. Petrie knew he would do that and sat on the outlet. I mean, I think all of us will agree with you, Severe. It was definitely a bad decision, but I think we all have to understand that you know, there's going to be learning curves for Fernando. There's going to be bumps in the road, you know, and I'm glad that he's getting this shit out in practice, you know. So unless this shit plagues him when he gets to the National Football League as a starter, Severe, I'm not going to judge him just yet off, you know, what he's doing in practice, because none of us, at least majority of us, don't think he's going to start this year anyways. So let him go out there and take some lumps and you know, learn what works and what don't work in practice, you know, especially against, you know, a Texans and in a Texans and a scrimmage, you know, where, you know, schemes are put in. They implement a little bit of scheme and shit. It's not just your typical, you know, preseason game. It's a scrimmage where they actually try to stop people and shit. So
Ray, I'm a CJ fan too. You know what I mean? Like, I like CJ Stroud. I'm pulling for the kid. Him and my son played on the same 7-on-7 football in high school. So I mean, I know the kid. I don't know the kid, but I know the kid. You know what I mean? I've watched him play in high school with my son. So like, I'm pulling for him. You know what I mean?
I ain't pulling for nobody. Ain't no Raider.
No, I'm just saying. The reality is he didn't have a good year last year. So if he bounces back,
he's overrated in my opinion.
Hey, you know, for some people, like I said, I know the kid. You know what I mean? I mean, I watched the kid play, grow up. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go against him. You know,
I hear you.
When they playing us, I don't give 2 shits, bro. But when he not playing us and he doing something else, I wish the kid all the best.
Type shit. I still have a little bit of animosity towards the fact that, you know, we didn't get him. So I'm kind of smirk a little bit knowing that he's kind of been struggling lately because remember they were like, oh yeah, who was it? The dude, was it Ziegler? They said that Ziegler wanted to trade up for CJ Stroud, and old buddy was like, nah. Josh McDaniels was like, nah. And I'm like, fuck it. Well, if we didn't get him, fuck it. I hope he struggles, bro. You feel me? And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like Raider Ray says, us versus it's us versus everyone, bro. Like fuck that. We didn't get him, and we probably would have. I'm not saying we were gonna get him because I mean I don't think anybody trades that, especially the
That's
Texans.
why I
who
kept
need the
saying all
quarterback.
that
They're
bad
not
shit
trading out of that.
about Caleb Williams, bro. That's why I kept saying all that bad. I wasn't gonna let people sit here and be like, "Oh, we ain't getting him, so fuck him, bro. He gonna be trash. He gonna be terrible.
Exactly, bro.
He's a bust. Stop asking for him. He's a bust.
Fuck those guys, dude. I don't know. They're supposed to be
And
Raiders.
he probably
Now
would
they're
have
not
been under
Raiders.
our tutelage. He probably would have been a bust playing for us. I'm just saying.
We would have moved him to tight end or something.
Man, we'd have tried to convert. We'd have asked him to be a wide receiver like we do with other quarterbacks.
Yep. Damn.
Nah, the Madden curse has been broke. The Madden curse has been broke. It rears its ugly head every now and then. I would never want to be on the cover of Madden.
That shit fucked Christian McCaffrey up real bad last year, dude.
It did the same for Saquon too. He didn't have a good season the following year either. He didn't get hurt like the previous people that were, that was crazy. Like the first 15 years, motherfucker be on the cover of Madden and get hurt the next year.
Yeah, it's been tough. It's definitely.
And then it got light on the injuries, and people were just not having good seasons the following year. Now that's still going. You know what I mean? So, and then the Christian McCaffrey was on it and then got hurt the following year.
Yeah, I remember that too. Severe. I remember. You guys remember when the rumor came out that Josh McDaniels wanted to trade up for Bryce Young? He didn't want to trade up for CJ Stroud. I do remember that. Josh McDaniels didn't want CJ Stroud. He wanted to trade up for Bryce Young, and that's probably where the disagreement came in place. But no, for sure, I do remember them saying that shit. They wanted Bryce Young. Do you guys remember Terrell Pryor? Does a bear shit in the woods? Anthony Provencio. That's a record. That's a record breaking Terrell Pryor.
Who do you think we were referencing when we said ask him to be a wide receiver?
Raider legend. I believe that was Al Davis's last pick.
It was a compensatory pick.
Yeah, but it was Al Davis's last.
Yeah, Al Davis's final pick was Terrell Pryor. No, you're 100% correct. Shout out to fucking Terrell Pryor, bro. He's a better wide receiver than quarterback for sure. Shout out to him, bro. How many quarterbacks converted to wide receiver and was like a fucking Pro Bowl wide receiver, dude?
Yeah.
That was a Pro Bowler, dude. Like, what the fuck? This was a quarterback. He wasn't a great quarterback, but still, just even your subpar quarterback typically don't go and become a wide receiver and then be a Pro Bowler, dude. Like, what the fuck? That was special.
It's crazy.
Too bad the Raiders didn't try that.
Oh, that's what I was getting ready to say. He left us because he didn't want to play wide receiver like we asked him to.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Yeah, we asked him to play wide receiver.
He didn't want to play nothing else. Oh.
And then he found his way out the league, and then somebody asked him to come in and try out at wide receiver, and he's like, okay, if it gets me back in the league. Like, damn, bro, we offered that to you. You wouldn't even been out the league if you would have just played wide receiver for us.
Was he out? I thought the Browns took him as a quarterback, and then they can.
No, he was out. He was out the league for a year. He was out the league for a year.
Oh, it was a supplemental pick, not a compensatory pick.
Yeah, it was a supplemental draft pick.
Yeah. Oh. And it was like a 97-yard run. No, it was a 93-yard run, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. But yes, that's still the record to this day. What's his face? Almost broke
quarterback run. It's the longest quarterback run to this day.
Marcus Mariota, I think, almost broke that shit like 8 years ago. 7-8 years ago, he almost broke that shit. He had a real long run too, dude. Kaepernick had a real long run too, but it wasn't that long. but they almost broke it. But they got tackled short. Okay, 92. Shout out to My Take. Hey, shout out to My Take, bro. My Take's a content creator. Shout out to that guy, bro. Yeah, he was a 92-yard run. Yeah, it was crazy too against the Steelers. Like that's when I started to see like Polamalu was starting to really get old. Like once fucking Terrell Pryor split them safeties and Polamalu or Troy Polamalu couldn't catch up to him. I'm like, yeah, bro, you can definitely see that Troy Polamalu lost a step, dog. If I'm not mistaken, I think that was his final year that he played.
Guinness Book of World Records has it as a 93-yard.
Okay, yeah, 93. I knew it was 92 or 93. That's what I think. I originally said 93.
The Guinness Book of World Records has it as a 93.
Yeah, that was the end of it for Troy Polamalu that year right there. Troy Polamalu is probably one of the best players I think I've ever seen in my life. I've seen him make some crazy plays too, and not just crazy plays, not just crazy plays, bro, but the amount of crazy plays and the longevity he had.
What do you call it?
So the longest run in NFL history is a shared record by Tony Dorsett and Derrick Henry, 99 yards. Yep.
The longest run for a quarterback.
93.
So I got a clip here, another short that I posted, and this was credit to CBS Sports, and they were talking about Fernando Mendoza and him starting probably by like week 8, and just the overall outcome of the quarterback situation.
There's no sound.
There's no sound? Okay, hold on.
No sound.
I got you. Hold on. I think it's because I'm not sharing through the same browser. Hold on a second.
Yeah, I figured that out.
Yeah, that's what I hate about fucking StreamYard. Like, if you use Google Chrome, you have to fucking share tabs through Google Chrome, dog, or you won't get no sound.
You won't get no sound.
It's fucking dumb. All right. How about now? Can you hear it?
From the time.
Yep. Okay, cool. Let's back it up then. That's what she said.
When you're the first overall pick, you're going to play. Cam Ward started last year in week 1 and started the entirety of the season. And while you do sign Kirk Cousins to allow some grace period, a bridge, if you will, from the time you draft Fernando Mendoza until the time he actually plays, he looked good in his preseason debut, and that's a better start than having the conversation that he didn't know what he was doing out there. And then you build on that. He's looked good in the joint practices in recent days, going up against the Houston Texans defense that we know is legit. And you don't turn a franchise around that was as bad as the Raiders have been in recent years by leaning on Kirk Cousins unless he's out there throwing darts and that team is undefeated. So I think the plan all along, whether it was verbalized or not, was that we're going to see Fernando by the midway point of the season, if not sooner, because you have to find out what you have in this young man and you want to get the most out of him on that rookie deal so you can build a team around him. We've seen teams have to pay quarterbacks on their second contracts, and that means you can't pay other players. So I expect by week 8 we will see Fernando out there. Hopefully Kirk stays healthy the whole time, and that won't be the reason he plays. But I think Mendoza, when you take him first overall, he's gonna be on the field before Halloween. I'll put it like that.
So do you guys agree with that? You guys agree with that sentiment? No?
Nope. And that's the exact type of take that I hate, bro. It's the exact type of take that keeps Raider Nation divided and up in arms about as to when he's going to play, when he's going to. Bro, first off, asking the Raiders to be undefeated at week 8 is crazy.
No, he's saying that's the only way Kirk Cousins could keep that job.
That's not the only way he can keep that job, bro.
I know that's just what I'm saying. I
hear you, and that's the
otherwise Kirk should, otherwise Fernando should start.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying that's that ridiculousness, bro. You know what I mean? If the Raiders,
that's why you got the Silver and Black Lounge, a Natural Born Raiders podcast, and a Loaded Box, bro.
Exactly. That's why you.
It's time shit.
Bro, if this Raider team is 4-3. Come week 8, you're not gonna see Fernando, bro.
What if we're 2-5?
If you're 2-5, you might see Fernando. But dude, is that really going to make you happy? I mean, you're seeing him because we're trash. So that means you're putting him out there to get hurt because we're not going to win any football games. So is that what you want to see? See, at that point in time, it becomes a lose-lose situation. You're not winning football games, but you're going to throw your rookie out there to get his brains bashed in and be no good for next year. That doesn't make any sense. I wouldn't do that. If I'm just barely losing games and my starting quarterback is still better than my rookie quarterback, I'm still going to start my starting quarterback. I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
So you say, regardless of the fact, they should start Kirk Cousins all year?
If he's winning, yes. If we're getting our brains bashed in, and it could be a hazard to put Mendoza out there, yes.
Well, here's a better one. What if Kirk Cousins isn't working out or whatever, or he gets hurt, and they throw in Aiden O'Connell before Mendoza?
Nate, I'll be honest.
I think that ship has sailed, to be honest with you, bro.
I'll be honest, man. At this point in time, I'll be surprised.
I like Aiden.
He makes the roster. I'm just saying.
That's a hot fucking take. I ain't gonna lie.
I'd be surprised.
I'll take a piss on that one. That's a hot take.
I think he might get put into waivers, and if he clears waivers, they'll bring him back on the practice squad. But at this point in time, I don't see. He gonna have to show me something tomorrow night, bro. He gonna have to show me something tomorrow night.
Those wide receivers are dropping a lot of those passes last Thursdays.
I understand. But tomorrow night, he'll get a chance to run with the twos. I understand he's with the threes and the flows the week before. So if Kirk Cousins doesn't play, then that means that AOC will get a chance to run with the twos. And if he plays the same way he did with the threes and the fours, it ain't on the threes and the fours. It's on him. So that's where I'm at with it, man. Like I've had all the hope in the world that he would get a chance to pan out. Unfortunately, this time around, I think he's got two quarterbacks that are just that much better than he is. You know, so it's gonna be tough sledding for him. Or tough treading, whatever you want to call it, bro. It's gonna be tough for him. And I don't know if he makes the roster, bro. I really don't know if he makes the roster. Especially if you need offensive line help or you need defensive back help. You know what I mean? I just don't see where they keep it.
Yeah, we got 4 quarterbacks on the roster right now. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy.
People are saying that the UDFA looks better than AOC.
I don't know.
I don't know either because I ain't seen him. I ain't really seen nothing from him. Yeah. So I'm just saying rumors. It's just rumors at that point.
I got it.
I seen Aiden O'Connell throw 63 up on the Chargers.
No, you saw the defense. You saw the defense put up half
here
that.
We go.
You didn't see Aiden O'Connell pull up the full 63.
I see.
You saw the defense
did not score 30 points.
I saw him orchestrate that.
Score 30 points. You're tripping.
I never saw Derek Carr orchestrate 63 points.
Like 20.
How many?
I mean, like 14 points on Pitt.
No, they scored 3 touchdowns that game.
Yeah, 2 picks that scored.
Without mentioning Derek
and a
Carr.
fumble recovery for
now, y'all have to put some respect on Aiden O'Connell. To say Aiden O'Connell is going to get cut is crazy.
I just watched that game. They had a fumble recovery for a touchdown and 2 pick sixes. So
hey, all right, cool. 20, but that ain't half, mother. You said half of 63. Half of 63 is like 32 points. 31 and a half.
And unfortunately, none of them touchdowns that we put up was passing touchdowns. It was all runs.
No, Trey Tucker caught 2 touchdowns in that game. What are you talking about? Trey Tucker caught 2 touchdowns. He said none of them was passing. The fuck they weren't. Aiden O'Connell was out there throwing dimes in that jank.
I'm lying.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
I just don't want to.
That was the Trey Tucker coming out show. That was the Trey Tucker coming out show. Was that
sure AOC got Telesco and a couple of dudes fired that same game.
He did. He got the Staley fired. He got Telesco fired. You know what I'm saying? 63 though, bro. We gotta put some respect on that. You can hate him all you want. He still dropped 63 and then pointers.
He put up 14.
Come on, 14 man.
And a 63.
And he was on a team that scored 63 points, dog. That's all that matters, bro.
I understand.
63 of them Giants.
I understand.
I mean, who was the quarter?
We're not gonna give him all the credit. We ain't gonna give him all.
Just win, baby.
We are not gonna do that.
What?
We're not gonna.
Who was the quarterback when we put up 59 on Denver? Was that Jason Campbell when we put up 59 on Denver?
I don't remember.
I think it was.
I think it was.
You guys can correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I think it was Jason Campbell.
I believe it was.
But yeah,
I feel like we sucked that year. But
we were like fucking. We were like a 7-win team that one year with Jason Campbell.
Yeah, we was killing until he got hurt.
And the second year he got hurt. Yeah, and the second year he got hurt. Because we had Jason Campbell for 2 years. The first year we were like only 1 or 2 games out of the playoffs. Yeah, exactly. That was the Denarius Moore season against the Bills where he went crazy against the Bills. And then year 2 is when he got hurt, bro. Like Darren McFadden got hurt, and then he got hurt like the week after that, bro. And our season was over.
When he went down, we was under.
And then we traded 2 first-round picks for Carson Palmer. So, I mean, it is what it is, though, bro. Whatever happens with Aiden, I ain't really tripping. I just like Aiden O'Connell.
So it was Tom Cable before. Was Tom Cable before Hugh Jackson?
Tom Cable was before Hugh Jackson. Hugh Jackson was Tom Cable's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And Tom Cable was actually an offensive line coach. I forget under what coach it was, but he was. I think it was under Lane Kiffin. Yeah, under Lane. And then he ended up getting fired. I still remember to this day the game he got fired. They fired Lane Kiffin after that game that we played against the Chargers where he sent Sebastian Janikowski out there to kick like an 80-yard field goal before halftime. That game was Zach
fired.
Zach Miller had that long-ass catch and run touchdown like right before halftime, and then they tried to throw that long ass. We lost the game ultimately, but he ended up getting fired right after that. And then I think that's when they had because that's when they promoted Tom Cable from offensive line coach to head coach. I think Tom Cable served like a year, maybe 2. And then Hugh Jackson, it was 1. And then Hugh Jackson was his offensive coordinator that was promoted. And then Hugh Jackson, I think, got 2 years. And then once only reason why Hugh Jackson ultimately got let go is because that's when the Raiders took over. John Gruden took over. So John Gruden came in and ran Reggie McKenzie out and the rest of those guys out. So Hugh Jackson, I mean, the best I ever saw Darius Hayward-Bay play was under Hugh Jackson. He had a good year, bro. That final year that Darius Hayward-Bay played for us before he went to Pittsburgh was probably the best year of his career by far. And that was under Hugh Jackson.
Hayward-Bay was so bad. I can't believe that.
No, he was like the first couple of years he was, and then once Hugh Jackson came in, Hugh Jackson extended his career. There you go.
We could have had Michael Crabtree.
Michael Crabtree wanted to be a Raider too, bro. He wanted to be a Raider because his entire life he was a Raider.
Crabtree, bro. I'll never forget that.
Crabtree played for the Raiders, like a team that was called Raiders in high school. Then he played for the Texas Red Raiders in college, and he wanted to play for the Raiders in the NFL. And ultimately, he ended up playing for the Raiders, and in my opinion, probably had a better career with the Raiders than he did with the Niners. Statistically, obviously, the Niners went to a Super Bowl, but still, I mean, numbers-wise, he put up the best numbers of his career in a Raider jersey than he did in a Niner jersey, for sure. I mean, there was an argument there for a minute that Michael Crabtree was probably, the number 1 wide receiver over Amari Cooper, and Amari Cooper was drafted to be the number 1. I still thought all throughout that time that Amari Cooper was the number one wide receiver. It's just Michael Crabtree was a borderline number one himself, which made him a damn good number two, bro. So he was just killing number two corners, bro, because he was a borderline number one wide receiver. But Amari Cooper, with his speed and his attention to detail and his route running, teams were more trying to stop Amari Cooper, and it just left a lot of one-on-ones for Crabtree, dude. And Crabtree took full advantage of a lot of those one-on-ones. What up, Rosetown?
He was our number
What up, Ralph?
one, but Amari Cooper was no number one.
He was our number one for, bro. Amari Cooper was definitely garnishing most of the. He might you to some people's opinion, it might not be, bro. But he was garnishing most of the attention from defenses, bro. That's why Crabtree was eating so much, is because regardless of his drops and shit, he was so talented that teams were definitely scheming against him, and they were letting Michael Crabtree eat. Michael Crabtree just ate. That's the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I hear you, but Crabtree hands were way more dependable than.
Yeah, but Crabtree didn't have that Amari speed neither, though. You feel me? So they were a perfect 1-2 punch, bro, because you had like the dude that was like the electrifying receiver that could get down the field and shit. And then you had the sure-handed dude, but at the same time, you can't really call Michael Crabtree ultimately sure-handed, because I believe that 2016 season, even though the Raiders were good, I think they were 1 and 2 in terms of the most drop passes. I think Michael Crabtree or Amari Cooper led the league in drop passes, and the other one was the other one. So Andre Holmes, definitely an underrated name. Bless you. He's allergic to bullshit.
Yep. Yes, I am.
Shout out to Mo, bro. Yeah, I liked Andre Holmes, bro. Andre Holmes is definitely one of them underrated Raiders under Derek Carr. He loved throwing the ball to fucking Andre Holmes. All right, you guys got anything else before we get up out of here or what?
It's good. I appreciate you guys as always. Raider Nation, chat, all the folks. Hey, if you see this video, just hit that like button later, whatever. You know what I mean? All that good stuff. Subscribe. Yeah, appreciate y'all.
Yeah,
oh yeah, Dyrti.
Subscribe to every channel that is participating in this. Find us on Spotify under the Silver and Black Lounge. All the shows will be there. So if you missed something tonight, you know what I mean, you can run it back there. So yeah,
Spotify, all the good stuff.
We on the Spotify now, so we need to get into that algorithm. You know what I mean? Every show gets posted the next day at 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So yeah, show us some love, so we can give it right back. The more love y'all put out, the more love we can give back, because it allows us to put a couple more dollars towards something that can entertain y'all. So we sure enough appreciate y'all. 50 billion things on the face of the planet you could be doing. The fact that you allowed us to grace your screen for any amount of time is greatly appreciated, more than we can verbally express.
And regardless if you watching here in the Silver and Black Lounge with Raider Ben and you pulled up a chair, you loaded in the box with Nutty Raider Nate, or if you're over there on the Natural Born Raider podcast, man, this has been the Nation with Attitude Network, man. Go check us out on Spotify, the Silver and Black Lounge on Spotify. Leave that 5-star review. Let us know how you guys feel about the show, man. As always, Raider Ben will be live tomorrow. Houston Texans, Raiders, play-by-play. It's going to be on ESPN. I'll be live. You guys tap in tomorrow. As always, man, like Nutty, like Dyrti said, bro, so many other things you guys could be doing, bro. I appreciate y'all. As always, man, for Nutty, Raider Nate, for Dyrti, for myself, Raider Ben, this has been the Just Win Baby podcast, man. You guys take it easy. Until tomorrow, as always, go Raiders.
Raiders.
For the cheapest and safest Madden 27 coins and coins across all video games, check out MMOexp.com. Use code The Lounge for 8% off. Thank you, MMOexp, for sponsoring today's stream.
They didn't have to say much. This is the Raiders, This is one of the most historic, franchises in the NFL with a great history that I want to be a part of. I want to be a part of furthering that history. When you say commitment to excellence, okay, and you look at the walls around here, and you look at the players on this wall, and there's a history. There's a history of Hall of Fame players here. There's a history of Super Bowls, and that's.
And with all this situation and all this shit I went through, the biggest thing that I took from it is I don't give a what everybody has to say. Truly, I really don't give a.
Play clock down to 1. Williams batted up in the air, and it is picked. Crosby. He has been a beast.
We do believe that this is a game psychologically of intimidation and of fear. I don't mean cowardly fear, but fear.
But the Chargers and all those teams. To be honest, I don't like any of them. I hate all teams.
The other team's quarterback must go down, and he must go down hard.
But the Chargers.
What I call the vertical game. We were going to stretch the field vertical. When we came out of the huddle, we weren't looking for first downs. We didn't want to move the chains. We wanted touchdowns. We wanted the big play, the quick strike. It's number one to say you want to do that. It's number two to say that you have the players to do it, but it's number three to do it. Hard. Try not to make mistakes, but don't worry about mistakes because there's only one thing that counts. Just win.
Your commitment to excellence and your will to win